So tell me a little bit about the types of clients you typically deal with. Are they all rampant tax evaders trying to steal from the
No, no, not
Commonwealth,
at
or are any of them?
not at all. It's actually quite surprising. People every now and again, someone will say, "But everyone should pay their tax," and are you just helping people dodge their tax? Whereas actually, it's the complete opposite. Probably every one of our clients, something has happened that is completely unforeseen and often really, really sad circumstances. And I suppose COVID has highlighted that for the whole world. So COVID and even the war in Ukraine, you'll have things like the boat getting stuck in the Suez Canal, but also a lot of the time there's serious illnesses, or there might be death, or a debtor hasn't paid. So there's a series of terrible events that people don't like to talk about, that have led to a position of them being unable to pay their tax.
So can you walk me through a bit of an example and tell me what sort of happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So a perfect example was we had a tyre sales company. And so over the period of COVID and also more recently this year, they've had huge staff shortages. And also there's been issues if someone got sick. So there was isolation rules, they had the effect of lockdown. And then they've also had a shortage of supplies of stock with importation delays. And so they got behind. So what their normal sales would be, or if they're paying for stock and then there's a delay of stock to come, they got severely behind in paying their tax. And what happened was they got a director penalty notice, which can then make the director personally liable for the company's debt.
Right.
And so their accountant actually contacted us and asked whether we would be able to assist. They had tried to enter into a payment plan themselves, but because they had an outstanding lodgement that hadn't been completed yet, and it was right before the end of financial year, so there was a lot going on for everyone, and they needed some assistance to get into the payment plan whilst their accountant completed the lodgement and to prevent further action happening. And so we actually were able to achieve that result for them within 2 weeks, which was pretty amazing. And on their file as well, they had also incurred interest and penalties. So if you're late, even a day late paying your tax, it incurs interest and penalties. And that is compounded daily. So it adds up very
Daily.
quickly.
So what sort of rate's that? Pretty,
It's
pretty
just
high
over
if it's
8%
compounding
at the
daily.
yeah, it's just over 8% at the moment,
Right.
compounded daily. So we were able to get remissions, so get written off for them $70,000 off their entire debt, and get them into a payment plan and stop any further action. And so that's an amazing result for the client. And the payment plans that we look at getting people into, and that we do get people into, are ones they can afford. So not ones that the ATO might specifically say you must pay this, but it matches their cash flow. It matches where their business is at in this point in time, and where they believe the business is going to go. So it doesn't put more pressure on the business. It actually takes that pressure off, takes that weight off the owner's shoulders often, so they can get on with running their business.